Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. Jacalyn. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. Jacalyn at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone. Season's greetings and happy holidays to you. We are here at USA Global TV, excited for our show today. We welcome our friends listening on Business Talk Radio. I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, and today we are presenting fashion, fitness, travel, and leisure. And our current in-house expert on these topics, my co-host and friend, the lovely Diann Floyd Boehm, is here. Welcome.
Hi, how are you? I don't know about expert when it comes to fitness. I give you that hat completely.
Well, we can break up the 4 topics and we'll figure it out, right, between us.
That's right. No, I'm real excited about today's show. It's something that we really need to talk about it. Fitness.
You know, Diann, with the end of the year coming, people are always making plans and resolutions, and a lot of the resolutions have to do with fitness or health. And it's interesting to me, I haven't done an official study, but just knowing myself and resolutions and commitments I've made in the past over, January, I usually don't stick to them for whatever reason, because it's not something that is something I'm going to carry forward. So I just mention to people, when you're thinking about these resolutions, don't be too hard on yourself, right? Come up with a plan of what it is you want to accomplish. Give yourself some time to accomplish it. And then if you fall off, just get back up and start over again.
Right. Or if you recall, you were attempting to do this one thing like so many days. You'll have to remind people.
75 hard.
And you just went, wait a minute, my body's telling me this is not good for me. And I think it's important. The reason I'm bringing it up is because we need to listen to our body as well.
So true, Diann. Diann, before we talk about fitness trends, which I'm really excited about, obsessed with working out, let's talk about everything that you've accomplished this year. Can you get it down to 2 minutes?
I'll do my best. I'll just say I am so blessed to have 2 publishers, and that allows me to get my word out for my stories. I'm very excited. I've done 2 Amazon lives. I've made incredible friends. I have this wonderful person called Dr. Jacalyn, who's been teaching me so much about business, staying on track, branding, and now a co-host for 2 of her shows. So I think this year, even though this sadness that I, mourn so much with the loss of my mom every single day, so I can hardly even say her name, but I do want to put that out. I owe my parents a lot of gratitude for who I am today. And, but I really thank you, Dr. Jacalyn. I'm so glad it was serendipity that we met. And this has been a blessed year because of you.
Aw, that's so sweet, Diann. Thank you. I appreciate that. And we have to say thank you to Zane Carson Caruth,
Yes.
who actually is the one who introduced us. Do you remember when we were introduced, Diann? What month it was?
Oh my goodness, it's been almost a year, I think. Yeah, but I know it was Zane asked me to fill in for her because something came up and she couldn't be on your show, and you emailed me. I just remember that. So I think it was around February, actually.
So all I know is, and for folks who are just joining us, this equipment that I have here, I actually bought in December of last year. Okay. Is that amazing?
Wow, that is.
It's been a year that we've been broadcasting on StreamYard, I think. So
that means 8 weeks later after you started, ding,
ding, ding. Yes. very exciting. Diann, one thing that's also coming next year that's very exciting is you are a member of our Talking Heads team of experts, and you
Yes.
will have your own show, which is really fabulous, starting in January, where you'll be presenting for 30 minutes each week. And in addition to that, we are starting a new show together that's going to be focused on the UK.
I'm so excited about both. And yes, I can't wait to share with people more things about the Talking Heads. And I'm studying hard for it. Everybody just know it takes work to do all this. And our new show, I almost said the name, but I'll let you say it. And but I'm excited because, you know, we're going to my heritage. Oh, there you go, Talking Heads.
Talking Heads. So for folks who don't know, Talking Heads is by invitation only, and it is for people who have been in their field for at least 5 years. They have a certain following, a certain way of presenting, poise, grace, intelligence, and Diann is one of those people on our team. So we're very excited.
I'm so excited, and I'm honored to be one of the first in the first group of Talking
Yes,
Heads. So,
you are.
it's all about storytelling.
So we will be giving information about the schedule. We actually just finalized it before the show. But for now, we're going to talk about fitness. So,
Yes.
Diann, as you know, there are different levels of fitness and different interest levels people have about fitness. So I'll just start with me. I have always been obsessed with working out because I've been obsessed with my weight. And no matter what weight I am, it's never thin enough. I'm never lean enough. I'm never strong enough. And it's, you know, believe me, I've been to therapy and counseling. It's real, but it's there, you know. So I like to do fitness activities that are extremely challenging, that if I were to check out of this planet, that I would check out doing one of these activities. So I know, a little on the extreme. Tell me about you. What's your level of passion for fitness?
Eating. No, I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing. I was like, well, the jaws need a good workout, you know? Anyway.
Yes.
You know, my mama always had us go for long walks, and I didn't realize she was actually putting me into training for just not taking in nature, but it was a way of relaxing and getting your exercise in. So I got to the point one time, Mother thought I got lost, and I decided to go, and I was like in 7th grade. And I decided to walk for 3 hours to a boy's house and then walk back, just to say I walked in front of his house. So that only reason to tell you that story is because I was really into walking. And so even to this day, my husband and I, we really enjoy walking. He's a real big hiker along with my kiddos. But I'll just do the little plateaus, not the giant mountains. And but now I'm more about, I rather do exercise through dance, anything with music. So when Jane Fonda was doing her thing, I was like right there exercising with Jane Fonda.
Oh, I love that. I love Jane Fonda too. I think she's such an inspiration. I know she's controversial in a lot of ways, but she really is very inspiring.
Yeah.
So, what I have found in doing my research in terms of fitness trends is many people, obviously, during the pandemic, couldn't go into a gym or a facility or a dance studio. So, they are working out at home. And I know during the pandemic, I purchased a trampoline. And I also own a spinning bike. So I would alternate between spinning and going on the trampoline. And with the trampoline, I have little weights, and I would do, I'd watch something ridiculous like Real Housewives, or, you know, nothing bad about them. I'm not saying anything, but just saying just something where I don't have to think. And I would just work out, and it was a lot of fun. And I managed to keep it together. And I'd also do push-ups and leg raises. So that's what I did during the pandemic. And so if people are doing things at home, and they're also spending a lot of time outdoors, and you just mentioned that. But if you live in an area where the weather isn't conducive, sometimes it takes a very strong mind to even be able to go outdoors and push yourself.
That's absolutely right. And I'm one of those people, I live in the middle of Texas. And so when it gets to be about 67 degrees, it's like, oh gosh, it's starting to get really, really cold. And you hit 50, and I'm like, seriously, I am not going out today. So I don't even know how people manage it in Chicago with all that snow. It takes a strong person, that's for sure. But you have to do it. And if you can't go out, then figure out ways to do it. And it's easier said than done. So, Dr. Jacalyn, I'll admit I'm one of these people that had the bike, I had the trampoline, everything in the house, and I'd walk by and say, "Hey, how are you doing today? I think I'm going to go sit down and watch a movie."
Diann, what's so funny about that? And people, you've seen this in the movies or on television. People have a bike, they have a treadmill, and it becomes like for your clothes. People are
Yeah.
hanging their jackets there. Oh yeah, that's just like a piece of furniture, right?
Isn't that terrible? But someone has to admit they do it, so I'm admitting it, right? But
I'd love to hear from our audience. I see people watching us on all the platforms. What do you do for your fitness routine? Another thing that's really popular for this year and also for next year is high impact interval training, where you combine cardiovascular along with weightlifting, for example, or other things you could do at home. Let's say you're doing some push-ups. And what I like to do is I like to mix it up with jumping jacks, cheerleaders, and jumping rope. So before I moved, I was going to a gym and I would jump rope 100 jumps in between everything that I did. So if I messed up because I'm neurotic, I had to start all over again. And then by the time I was getting ready to leave, I'd be up to 200 jumps. So maybe I'm going to do 25 sit-ups with the incline bar with a 25-pound weight. And then afterwards, I'm going to jump rope 100 times. And then I'm going to go back and do another set. So anybody out there who does high impact interval training, would love to hear from you. And the purpose of that, my understanding is that you get your heart rate up through the whole thing. So you're burning more calories and you're getting in better condition.
yeah, that's really true. And for everyone who's saying, "Oh my gosh, I could never do that because I can, maybe my knees can't take jump roping or whatever." So I'm going to share with you that I had a herniated disc at one time, and so I thought this is never going to happen again. But jumping jacks and all of that is really good for you. So if you can only do one, and then maybe 2 days later you add a second one. And for jump roping, first just kind of skip and jump and just do one, and then two. No one's judging you, so you build up at the level where you're beginning at. Am I saying that correctly, Dr. Jacalyn?
Yes.
How would you state that, right?
Yeah, you are. You are. And that's a great point, Dan, because also with New Year's resolutions, people commit to something that is above and beyond what their body is capable or used to. So you go from sitting on the couch to now you're going to run 5 miles. And that's not safe. It's not smart. You have to build up to it. So I like to think of it this way. We got into the condition that we're in, and it took a certain amount of time, whether it was our choice or health reasons. And to order to get out of it, it's going to take a certain amount of time, but we have to take the first step. And something else, let's say, people who are not able to walk or people who are not able to run or go outside, maybe there's something you can do in a chair, maybe yoga in a chair, or maybe it's even exercising your mind. That's really important as well.
Yes, that is. And to go back to your other point, take baby steps. So, Dr. Jacalyn, as you know, and for our audience listening, we've been so busy moving, fixing things after 2 houses, having the big winter freeze and so forth. And it might sound rich, 2 houses, but we were getting ready to move, so we were selling one. And anyway, now I'm ready to get back into becoming stronger and developing my core, but I didn't want to just jump into it. And so I found this place called Stretch Zone, and it is phenomenal. I've done 3 now, and they stretch your body. They get you back in shape. So your ligaments, you don't go and pop them because you did too many, cardio, picking up heavy weights and so forth. And I can't say enough about this place.
And Diann, thanks for sharing that. You also have a home workout that you have there. You can share that with our audience.
I will, but I'll be truthful with the audience. I still need to start using it, but I'm going to use it after the stretch zone. But my daughter introduced me to it, and what I love about it is you can travel with it, and I love the name of it. It's called the Body Boss Total Workout System, and I love it because what a clever name, because we are the boss of our body. So this opens up, and then this becomes your platform, and then you're given these a bag with tools that fit on them, and so you have like 2 of these, and then you hook these ropes on them. And from there, you just begin working with your own weight. So these just hook onto here, and you work with your own weight, and you do your pull-ups, chin-ups, all kinds of things. And there's another part that hangs on the door, and there's 2 of them. And you can go on YouTube, and you can be like Jacalyn and exercise with the Body Boss people. So I feel real excited about it, because now, just like it says, you're the boss of your body. So when I travel, I'm going to take it with me, and hopefully it won't just sit on the floor in the hotel room. I'll actually use it.
How much does it weigh, Diann?
Oh, it's very light. So it's not going to, the heaviest part is this right here. So most of the time I drive everywhere, because I like driving more than flying, but this is probably 10 pounds. Hey, I could use this.
Yeah, you can.
My arms, right?
Yeah, you can. And I think we've talked about that before. Like, even at home working out, you can grab 2 jugs of water, 2 cans of soup, or something, but get yourself going.
Right.
So,
and even and we talked about this before, so maybe you're stirring your spaghetti sauce, but in the other hand, as you're stirring, you can go up and down and do some squats. You can always find time. I'm big on these squats, because it is a part of life. If you can't bend over, we're in trouble. And you know what I learned the other day? I was listening to a workout. Did you hear Catch? They were giving you tips. So it wasn't working out and following them. Just wanted to say I didn't just listen. But anyway, so, when you go up and down stairs, a lot of times, especially the older we get, we hold on to the rail because we're afraid of losing balance. But the actual thing is, you want to use your core to walk up and down the stairs. So you should take a deep breath before you start up or start down. Do not hold on to the railing unless you really don't have good balance, obviously. Don't want to get sued or anything here. But as the younger you are, just remember to do this and carry it into your 80s, 90s, or whatever. And you hold, and you grab the core just like you were going to do a sit-up, and it helps you carry yourself up the stairs. It helps you carry yourself down the stairs. And for some reason, when we're younger, according to this one expert, we automatically grab our core and we're walking up and down. But the older we get, the lazier we get, and we don't even know we're shrugging, and then we end up walking like this. It's because we haven't engaged our core. So everything happens in the core of our body. So I want you to talk about that, because even in singing, if you have to have a strong core. So that core is so important. So I'm going to turn it over to you about core, because I know you're really into the core.
So I am really into core, and I'm going to share my favorite workout. And I'm just going to give this disclaimer, because we are in a television show. I am not a paid spokesperson. I'm taking this off of the internet where it's in the public domain. So it's available for everyone to find. I just want to share that. I love something that's called solid core. And what is solid core? It is a way of working out. I'm going to share it now. And it's something I understand that's like Pilates. Now, I've never done Pilates, but everything takes place in a studio that is called Solid Core. I believe that they are expanding across the United States. They're not in every state yet. And I started doing this in Pennsylvania, outside Philadelphia. So there are a fixed number of benches. I think there are 12. And the room is very dark. There are blue lights, as you can see. And then above the lights, there are words: committed, passionate, strong. And then the what's it called? The bench itself is called Svetlana. Svetlana, I think it is. And it's divided into 3 sections. So the first part is, if I can point to it. So this is a fixed platform, right? And then there's a carriage, which is after it. And the carriage is attached on one side by springs, and there's no springs on the other side. So it's actually called the pit. And then on the other side of it is another platform. So you've got 2 platforms and you've got a carriage in the middle. And at the one end, there's a place to attach the springs that are attached to the carriage, or it's attached to the platform, I'm sorry, to the carriage. So the workout is dynamic and it's always changing. And there's a coach, and the coach is talking nonstop the entire 50-minute workout. I mean, literally nonstop. That's part of this whole process. There's very loud music playing, and I think the music is to distract you from the ultimate pain that you are in, because you're breaking down your muscles. It's 2nd-degree muscle failure, so you want to start shaking. That's a big success, is when you see that you're actually shaking. So it's all about your form, and it's all about doing everything super slow. So the coach will tell you what it is you're going to do. And each of these exercises is for a certain amount of time. And then they'll tell you what's coming next. So they'll say, in 20 seconds, we've got a seated crunch. In 15 seconds, we've got obliques on the left, whatever it might be. And your goal is to use the proper form and to go as slow as possible to get to 2nd-degree muscle failure. So although they're standing in this picture, which I think this is a reflection, obviously, it looks like it's the same. Yeah, it's a reflection. Much of it is done either standing, lying, kneeling, or sitting on either the platforms or the carriage. You can also get off of the platform and you can do incline push-ups. You can have your back to the platform and you can do seated dips. And also you see their handlebars there. Some of the exercises are on handlebars and they are extremely difficult. So I love this because I am always challenged every single workout that I go. And there's always some place to take it to the next level. So if you are on your knees doing an exercise, you could go on to your toes. If you're on your toes and you're on your elbows, you could go to your hands. You could do push-ups. I mean, there's so many things. I'll leave it at that. So that's my obsession is solid core.
Wow, that's incredible. And I'm so glad you shared that the shaking was okay, because if I started to shake, I'd be like going, oh my gosh, I'm going to die.
Well, see, that's what happens though, Diann, because remember, you're between, let's say, you can do lunges. You're familiar with lunges. Well, one foot is going to be on a platform and one foot's going to be on a carriage. And so you have to balance your body weight, and you have to have balance all together. Now they do have a big pole to assist you if you need that. And then there are handlebars that you can use fingertip weight. However, the goal is to not hold on and to just, hands in front, hands in back, but you're shaking. In fact, yesterday, the first class, I think we were doing inner thighs, and one foot was on the carriage and the other foot was on the platform. And then there's a cable that you can hold, and you have to push the platform away, and it's attached by springs to the front. So you're actually pushing away weight and then pulling it back. And I was shaking so badly because I go at least once or twice a day that I literally thought I was going to pass out. And I was so in my head, and I said, what are you doing? Forget about the pain. Forget about your fear. Just breathe and focus. And sometimes people will break, meaning they'll just say, you know what? I got to stop for a second. I will not break. I will not. So,
that's that gold star.
That's the gold star. And I walk out of there and I just feel like, for an old woman, you pretty much nailed it.
A, you're not allowed to say OLD. That's a bad mindset. Number 2, for those people who don't understand about a gold star, Jacalyn, do you want to tell them in a sound bite, or shall I?
Yeah, you can. Go ahead.
So please read Dr. Jacalyn's book, Behind a Green Screen. She didn't know I was going to say that, but it's an amazing book. And
I will show it though.
Okay, good. And what I love about it is for people to realize that there's a lot that goes on before that green screen goes up. But anyway, you get to know Dr. Jacalyn, and you discover, even at a young age in school, the teachers, you could get a red star, a green star, and it kind of let you know where you were in your work. And she was always after that gold star. So when she said she told herself she was going to not break, it's because she was after the gold star.
Yes, I've always been after gold stars, but I do think, and I've shared this before, because I've had chronic illnesses through most of my life, that especially with the ulcerative colitis, that I have had to have really strong mental strength to be able to live with the condition of 16 inches of bleeding ulcers. So anyway, I think I'm very strong mentally as it is anyway. So
Dr. Jacalyn, I'm going to take a break for a second.
Okay,
go
ahead.
Back.
Okay. All right, folks, this is what happens. It's real life. It's real life, and someone's at Diann's door, so she's going to go take care of that. So I'd love to hear from you. I see that you're watching. Tell me, what is it that you do for your fitness trends, and which fitness trends are you interested in? And are you interested in learning something new? I personally have been certified to teach all kinds of things in my life. I've been a certified aerobics instructor, a spinning instructor. Today, I'm a certified yoga instructor and meditation instructor. And I always like to learn something new. And I'd love to hear from you as well. What are you doing to work out? Are you working out outside? Are you going to a gym? Are you a dancer? Do you like ballet? Are you hang gliding? What is it that you like to do? All right, so we'll be back in just a moment. We're going to take a break, and we're going to hear from some of our sponsors. And then I look forward to seeing what you post. If you want to reach out to me directly, Jacalyn at drjacalyn.com. And I'd love to hear what you think about fitness and what you're doing. In the meantime, let's take a look at this music video by Sam Sarah.
You don't see me, yet I hear you every day. Everywhere I go, any time of day. I'm not tall enough to catch all the flesh. A wife, a sister, friends don't want you. Unless I give you what you want, I know what you're gonna say. Nothing's wrong with me. I'm not here for you to do with as you please. Nothing's wrong with me. I'm fine and I'm free. There ain't nothing wrong with me. I don't need to be fixed. It's not some bipolar thing. And no, I'm not bleeding. Love, I don't need to be fixed. It's not some bipolar thing. I know I'm not bleeding.
Kapayapaan, kapayapaan, kapayapaan.
Diann Floyd Boehm's A Song of Peace tells the story of a young lad named Tommy whose fervent wish for peace on earth touches the hearts of his friends and family, spreads to his community, and eventually unites the whole world around making his dream of peace a reality for everyone. Sit down with the children in your life and share Tommy's amazing story of love and hope. Sing your own song of peace and invite the children to join you. Tommy's tale is more than just a story. It's a movement, and everyone's warmly welcome to take part.
Kapayapaan, 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 kapayapaan.
You'll find A Song of Peace, along with many other wonderful learning and enriching opportunities for children of all ages, at DiannFloydBoehm.com.
And I think it's scary.
It can be. It's very brown. There's nothing you can see.
Well, you can't see what's going on. I don't know which is worse, when you can see or you can't see. I know I was visiting family members, I think in Hawaii. We went out on a paddle board, and the water was so clear. And I thought, if I fall off this board, I am going to freak out. I'm going to freak out. Please let me stay on this board.
How did you do? My oldest daughter loves paddle boarding. Did you enjoy it?
Yes. So I love paddle boarding also. I actually have a paddle board. And I was taking it out on a regular basis. And then there was an article, this is in New Jersey. There was an article that there was a shark that was in the bay. And I was like, that's it. That is it. I am not going back out again. But when I first got the board, which was years ago, I want to say 8 or 9 years ago, I said to myself that the reason I was doing it was because I'm afraid of the ocean, which I'm not afraid of the ocean per se, but I'm afraid of what's in the ocean, because I also have a very severe shellfish allergy.
Oh, yes.
So I said to myself, I'm getting this board. It's going to be great exercise, right, for your arms and for your core and everything. And I cannot fall off the board. So, of course, the first time I go out, I fall off the board and I end up in the mud on a bank, right? Of just, just like that disgusting mud, like all over you. And I never fell off again.
Oh, you got that core engaged.
Yeah. And the balance, right? Because what was happening,
balance.
Anybody out there who paddle boards or surfs, you have that where your toes are like digging into the board and then your feet go numb, but you have to release that and then really learn how to work on your balance.
Yeah, incredible, right? It's amazing. I don't know how you guys do it. That would not be my forte at all. I'd be like cheering you on. Good job. Can I take your picture? Oh, whoa, that was so pretty.
I think it's amazing when I see people doing yoga on a paddle board. I mean, I've seen people do headstands. Actually, my nephew.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's pretty cool.
That is amazing. I was going to bring up one of the things I liked to do, and I had stopped because of COVID, but I was really into kickboxing. I think I
Ooh.
need to get back into it. I loved kickboxing, and you get again you do everything. You actually first you start off and you kind of warm up your body with jump ropes and jumping jacks, like we opened up the show with. And once you're warmed up, then and it's 30 minutes, and you work through this whole scenario that they put together for you, and you're watching your heart rate continuously. Your name's up on the board, which I really enjoyed that. Knowing where I was going and how I was progressing, and then the calming and cool down. But you're not just kicking with your knees. You're learning to again engage in your core and working your arms. It's a phenomenal workout, and I highly recommend it, especially people who are in a hurry and they're like, you know what, I can only dedicate 30 minutes to myself right now. And let's be honest, sometimes that happens for all of us. So go for that 30 minutes. And you just schedule it with them according to your time. They're not paying us to say all this. I'm telling you because it worked out in my lifestyle. And I was like in there and out of there. And man, I was ready to go. So yeah, too bad COVID messed that all up.
But it's time to get back, Diann. You can start up again. I took boxing lessons for a summer. Like I think this summer or two before COVID. And that was a lot of fun. So, a lot of footwork, moving around, and also good for your core.
Absolutely. And, I always thought about boxing for boys, thinking from a young kid and having 5 brothers, my older brothers were always into boxing and moving their feet. And one day my son came home and he was like, Mom, you pay for the girls to have voice lessons. How come you don't pay for me to have boxing? I'm like, A, you never asked me. And B, why would I want you to know how to box? He goes, it's really great for basketball, moving the feet. And he was right. And I did do that. And it just made a world of difference in his ability to change really quickly and move that ball around. So boxing is really great. And for you parents listening, and you have kids, girls or boys playing basketball, it's something to think about.
It is. And Diann, as a mother, I'm not a mother, you're the mother, but what are your thoughts about how and when to introduce athletics and workouts to children? And the reason I ask that is we have a friend who's over in the UK, and she's unbelievable. I think she's got like a 20-pack. It's amazing what she can do. And she has all these videos on Instagram of her with her very 2 young children who are doing all these exercises with her. So I think we interviewed her as well.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts about when do you introduce children to exercise?
I think it's healthy to introduce them as soon as possible. I mean, my mom did. I grew up with Jacalyn. That really dates me. But, I love Dr. Jacalyn. And he gave you a healthy mindset. So you weren't overdoing it. You were doing it just because it's good to take care of your body. Your body's a gift. We've been blessed to be here. Our body's a gift. So we should take care of it. And the younger we teach our kids this, I think they stay in a healthy mindset and they don't go overboard, which is so easy to do in today's world. Fast food is everywhere, right? And so you have to just be careful. But exercise, it should just be part of your daily life. That's my little 2 cents worth.
No, I love that. And also, as we age, exercise is equally important. And I know I saw on some show with my mother, a woman 105 years old entered a race, and she came in first place because I think there was no one else in her category.
I want to be. No one be in my category.
It was and I hope I'm getting that right. She did win. I don't know who else was in the category, but it's important regardless of what age you are to keep moving. And so as trends come and go, just like with fashion, you've got bell-bottom pants, and I'm sure they'll be back. They're gone. They're back. They're gone. And fitness trends come and go, but find something to do that you really like. For me, I love to exercise, and I don't like the pain per se. I don't like, what you have to do to get to the next level, but mentally what it does for me is priceless.
It is priceless. And I understand that if you don't like to exercise, but then if you like to dance, dance is exercise. Go join a square dancing group. Down here in Texas, we have square dancing groups, and I've always wanted to do that. That's exercise, and it's mental exercise as well. There's the Arthur Miller studios you can do, and for once you can learn the foxtrot, and all of that. So exercise doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to go to a gym. As we said earlier, you can go for a walk and so forth. But find something you love to do that makes your body move. And I'd like to know your thoughts, Dr. Jacalyn. I think especially if you're just starting, to just lay on the floor, put your feet up on the wall, and let your blood run the opposite way. That's supposed to be very healthy. And we used to call it take a power nap.
Yeah, we do that in yoga a lot as well. And I think also with stretching, you mentioned that stretching's so important, because as we get older, we can fall and hurt ourselves, and it takes much longer to heal and to recover. So we want to be stretching, especially our Achilles tendon. And we talked about this before, how you can actually sit on your feet, which the front of your foot is on the ground. And that's very painful if you've never done it before. So don't try this at home, children. No, kidding. Yes. So it's something that you have to work on, but using your hands to hold yourself up. Another trend, Diann, I'm just going to sneak over here and get it, is wearable technology. So again, not a paid spokesperson. Oh, okay. I'm hoping someone will send a check, and as soon as they do, Diann, I'll let you know. But so this is my Apple Watch, right?
Okay.
And then there's all these different bands. This is one of my solid core bands, but there's also decorative bands. They go crazy. You can go on Amazon and get all kinds of bands. And what I like about this is it's sort of a love-hate thing. So you can program this to however many calories you want to burn for a day. So mine is set at 560 calories. And when I was in New Jersey, that was fairly easy for me, but I was able to see very quickly which exercises burn exactly how many calories. So I love to walk, and I'd walk outside. I would walk 8 miles, and I would burn up 300 and some calories, and it would take me 2 hours. So to me, that's not a great use of my time.
No.
If I jumped on the treadmill, the
trampoline,
the trampoline with my little hand weights, I could burn 600 calories. Wow. So that was a much better use of my time. So I did have this set that if I was, if I wasn't getting close to the calories, like it reminds you, like you still have time left. And then I was like, shut up. I know I have time. I'm not doing anymore. I'm exhausted. Stop talking to me. So I do wear that. When I'm not broadcasting, I have it on all the time because I'm obsessed with how many calories I'm burning. Mm-hmm. And I could make it lower. I can make it any number I want, but it also tracks your movement, the number of minutes that you exercise, and then also the number of hours that you stand. So you're supposed to stand 12 hours a day. I don't know who came up with this, but that's according to the watch.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yes.
And 12 hours a day.
Wow. It gives you, I wish I could, maybe I can show it. So today I haven't done any exercise, right? So I'm going to show this. So this is the activity. Can you see this?
Yes.
So there are 3 circles, and red, green, and blue. Red is for movement, green is for exercise minutes, and blue is for standing. So you see that it's at 0 because I've done nothing. Okay. So I've got a long way to go, friends, for 560 calories today. And now here's something else I'll show. You're able to select which exercise you're going to do. So if you see, this says Pilates, right? And then, high intensity training. It doesn't want to go there for some reason. Outdoor walk, outdoor run, indoor cycle, yoga. So golf, you can let it know what you're going to be doing, and then it starts counting, and it's counting the calories, it's counting the number of minutes that you exercise. So it keeps you on point. And once you wear it on a regular basis, you pretty much can ascertain, well, if I go play golf, then this number of calories, which I don't play golf, but you know what I'm saying.
Yes, that's incredible. My kids gave me a watch. I'll wear bracelets, but I've never been one to wear watches, even though I have so many of them as gifts. But so I thought, okay, I'm going to try it. So I wore it for a whole week and plugged it in, like you said. And then I don't know, it looks really pretty on my desk.
So Diann's really advocating exercise equipment as furniture. And,
I just want someone to relate to me. I am going to work to be more like you, Dr. Jacalyn.
No, you don't want to be neurotic like me. But,
No.
Well, see, that is the thing. Like, we have these devices that keep track of everything that we're doing, right? And and I kind of like it because I'm very structured and I'm very disciplined, but yet I put a lot of pressure on myself because then it's like, well, you know the number, it's 560. You said it, it's 560. And why aren't you getting 560? So but
I really like it. No, in all honesty, I like to make jokes, as you know. But what I loved about wearing it was, especially during COVID, my husband and I, we made a real point to go out and go walking. And I could look at that and say, no, we haven't gone long enough, And then in the summer, it gets just way too hot here. And then it became really easy to go walking because we'd wake up early before the sun. We were there for the sunrise, and then we were in the woods because where we were living, there was lots of trails, and so then it became magical. It's like Snow White, the rabbits are coming out and eating, and the squirrels are scampering, and before you knew it, we were walking for like 3 or 4 hours, and I was like, oh yay, my watch is really happy.
Your watch is telling other people's watches, Diann's done her exercise for today. No,
and the birds were singing.
Well, and I'm glad that you brought up about walking, because something else I think it's important, as we age, we have to be careful what activities we do because they can be hard on our joints. So for example, when I was younger, I was teaching aerobics. I ended up on crutches 3 times because I was always step aerobics like psychotic. So I stopped doing that, which they're not really teaching that anymore. I think there's step classes here and there. But running, for example, I've always been a runner, and I just decided that if it's not on a treadmill, I'm not going to be running outside, because one wrong placement of your foot and that's it. Broken hip, broken arm, whatever the case is. So What are your thoughts about that, Diann?
No, I agree. I mean, we have to really assess where we are and be happy where we are in life, and accept that there are times that we have to give something up. I enjoyed running too, never like what you did, but I certainly enjoyed going and running the track and feeling really successful if I did 2 or 3 rounds of, football track. But yeah, that's not going to happen anymore. Not going to happen. And you still have to take care of those joints. And we don't realize, like, if you see I'm sitting like this, but I should be really like sitting straight forward, back up, shoulders back. But we forget, we just get relaxed because it's like having a cup of coffee with you, right? And so we need to take care of our joints. And I'm so glad you said that, because I really want to have someone, the person that works on me at the joint, I like going, and I'm not saying this, I'm saying for your back, talk about your joints and how important. And so people, get your favorite, your doctor, if you do go to the joint for your back or whatever, let them assess if this exercise might be a good one for you or not. Don't just jump into anything and everything just because, I did it in the 20s. Well, just because you did it in your 20s doesn't mean you can do it in your 60s.
It's so true. And I think for any exercise, check with your doctor before you do anything, because it's we all have great plans, but our body may not be in alignment with them. And plus, also, what are your health conditions if you have any? Do you have high blood pressure? Do you have high cholesterol? Like, maybe there's certain things you need to discuss with your doctor before you just embark on a fitness routine.
Yeah. My mom, she was amazing. She never gave up swimming. So your mom was into tennis, right?
Mm-hmm.
And which is a fabulous exercise. So again, exercise doesn't have to be weights, tennis, whatever. Mom was swimming up until 77. She swam. Are you ready for this? 77. I cannot do this. 1 hour straight, the crawl.
Whoa, that's
Non-stop.
amazing.
Yeah, because she did it her entire life. And so swimming was her thing. And then finally the doctor said, Mabel, your back can't handle this anymore. You're going to have to go to water aerobics, which she was really sad. But then she got really into water aerobics because when she was in high school, in her days, in her school, and it was public school, if you can imagine, in Pennsylvania, and they had swim teams, but it was dance. And so you learned how to do dance ballet. And so once she found the right person with water aerobics, she was having beautiful memories of doing swimming in the swimming pool, ballet. Pretty cool, right?
That's great that she was able to morph into something else that she really found enjoyment in, because that's what I hear from people over and over. As I was a personal trainer for years on the side, I hate doing this. Well, then you shouldn't be doing it. I mean, find something that you're actually going to enjoy, because if you hate it, you're not going to keep up with it. But I also think if you really look at the value you're getting from it, the health benefits physically, mentally, then you can adjust your perspective.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And that was, I wanted to bring up water aerobics because that's a fabulous exercise. And so if you're worried about your joints or you can't get that leg up high enough yet, then, you're weightless in the water. And so you can get that knee up to your waistline again, and you feel good.
Yes.
I wish I could think the name of the movie. I've gone blank for a second, but I love it when they talk about, she discovers that the guy, he's into exercise and he knows shoes. And then she goes, and then he said, how did you know that? And the girl goes, because you get all this adrenaline flowing and get your best ideas after exercise.
Well, Diann, something else that you just reminded me of is something else you can do in a pool, depending on the depth of the pool. But I remember I would go to a local gym, and this is maybe 5 years ago, a big chain. It's a local gym, but it's across the country. Mm-hmm. And they have a pool that, like an Olympic sized pool. And I got these shoes that you would wear. I don't know how you describe them. I think surfers wear them. They have the little things on the bottom, the sticky things.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
And then I had these hand weights, and I would walk the length of the pool back and forth. And that was really good exercise. And I did that for a long time. And then I'm not going to give specifics, but you can use your imagination. I noticed several times that there were things floating in the water that should not have been there. And I was like, oh, no, I am done with this. I am out of the water for good.
Absolutely.
That was because it happened more than once, and I thought this cannot be healthy.
Yeah. No, it cannot be healthy. That's right.
Although in the ocean, nobody would even notice, right?
Yeah, this is true. This is true. Oh my gosh.
I don't know how we got here. Let's move on.
Definitely move on.
So in terms of fitness trends, folks, I think just find something that works for you. Make a commitment to do something, but not just because it's January 1st, right? Make a commitment because you've learned so much in the last 18 months, 24 months that you want to incorporate it and come up with the best version of yourself. And exercise, in my own opinion, and research shows it, Diann's opinion, it's so good for you physically, emotionally, mentally. If it's yoga, if it's mindfulness, meditation, it's so good for you spiritually as well.
Yes, absolutely. And to take a quote from Dr. Jacalyn's book, The Green Screen, invest in yourself. You are worth it.
Thank you, Diann. And I'm just going to put up the book cover again. You know, folks, it's interesting. I published this book and I never really even talk about it. Diann interviewed me yesterday. Let me get this banner down, which was my first interview. And it was fantastic, Diann. Thank you so much. And I would love if you went over to Amazon. I think the ebook is $1 or something. Just get the book and you're going to learn life's lessons through my eyes. And also you can learn how to be a professional broadcaster.
There you go. That somebody's investment for next year. And if that's the case, you let us know because we'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely. And I want to let our friends know also that, see, I'm slouching on this chair, is that we are going to have a fitness show. So I am in the process of pulling that together. It's going to be fitness, yoga, and meditation.
So there. I'm going to
look for that next year.
That is great news. You heard it live.
You heard it live. All right, Diann, do you want to give the name of our new show that we have together that focuses on the UK?
Sure. The magic. The magic of the UK.
What are we going to discuss on this show, Diann?
A little bit of everything. The UK, it's not just about the royals. It's about incredibly fabulous people doing wonderful things in the UK. And we want people here in America to know about the talents and the great ideas that are coming just across the pond.
Fantastic. So exciting. And you can follow Diann, all the shows that she's going to be on with me. They're going to be on Wednesdays and Thursdays next year. So we've got The Magic of the UK. We've got Fashion, Fitness, Travel, and Leisure, The Corner Bookstore, and of course, Diann's own show, Talking Heads.
I'm so excited. Thank you, Dr. Jacalyn. You see, you are a true blessing for me for this year.
Well, thank you, Diann. Diann knows people all over the world, and she is happy to connect anyone and everyone. So I'm just so thrilled for our friendship and how it's progressed, that we now have these shows together and are developing a following. So for the rest of this year, we will be here the same time, same channel, same place. But for next year, it'll be Wednesdays and Thursdays. We'll be publishing a new schedule. And Diann, while we're live, are we going to be doing the show for the next 2 weeks of this year? I don't know.
I don't know. I was going to ask you how things are lining up. So I guess that's something to
I'm working. I'm not going anywhere.
Working.
I'm behind this screen. This is me.
Yay.
All right, folks. You can see us here next week again, right?
Right.
All right. Next week is Christmas Eve.
Yes. Christmas. Yay. Christmas. Yay. And so I hope everyone has a blessed holidays, blessed Christmas. And remember, it's not just about Santa Claus. It's about keeping love in your heart.
Yes, it is, Diann. Well said. And how can people reach you? How can they buy your books? How can they network with you?
If you just go to my website, diannfloydboehm.com, you'll find all the information there. For those who are listening on the radio, it's DiannFloydBoehm.com, DiannFloydBoehm.com. Thank you, Dr. Jacalyn.
Thank you, Diann. All right. I will see you again. I'm just going to close out with some announcements, and I hope you have a beautiful weekend.
Will do. I'm going to go stretch.
Yay! Okay. Bye. Bye. Hello, friends. Happy holidays again. I just wanted to give you a few updates. So some of our co-hosts have the day off today. So if you were looking for the Power of Etiquette and Manners, Philip is on holiday. Also for the United Kitchens, Ricky McKenna is on holiday as well. And Pet Psychic Amma is hard at work, and we're going to move our show earlier today. So instead of it being at 4 p.m. Eastern time, it's going to be at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So we hope that you'll join us. That is our next show. And then after that at 3 p.m. Eastern time is stories of hope, inspiration, and overcoming adversity. The last thing I want to leave you with is something really exciting. Are you looking for a great gift idea? Are you thinking to yourself, I really want to change it up this year. I want to be more interested in what my spouse has to say, what my children have to say, what my coworkers have to say. I want to learn how to listen. We have the Power of Listening courses coming up, foundational courses, parts 1 and 2. January the 5th is the next time we are offering these. Why should you care? Key takeaways: confidence, deeper relationships, better connections, and authentic conversations. What can you expect? You will watch role plays from professional actors as well as people who are on my team, and you'll watch the role play, and you may even be able to identify yourself in the role plays. These will be situations that I have directed for people to act out, and what you'll see is people who are not listening because they're interrupting. People are not listening because they're waiting for you to stop so they can jump in and say whatever it is they want to say. People who are trying to one-up each other. Oh, I got a gift for the holidays. Oh, I got a car for the holidays. Oh, I got a house for the holidays. And on and on and on. So we teach people how to listen authentically. When you complete courses 1 and 2 and take a 7-question quiz and score 100%, guess what? You get to be on my team of elevated listeners. Diann Floyd Boehm is also, in everything else she's doing, she's an elevated listener. That means that she can come on our show, The Listening Mentor, and we actually have wonderful in-depth conversations about relationships, about life, about listening. It all ties back to listening to yourself, your own intuition, listening to others authentically. So I challenge you to go ahead to Eventbrite. Here we go. And you can schedule for parts 1 and 2. We have a number of people who already signed up. And the best thing is that you can interact with these people. They can become your friends. You can network with them. For the 2 courses, it's $257. It's 3 hours on January the 5th. And we have other dates available as well. Please just go to eventbrite.com and book your ticket for the Power of Listening. All right, there are all the messages I have. I will be back with Pet Psychic Amina, as I mentioned, at 2 p.m. Eastern time. We'll see you then, folks. Stay well. Take care of yourselves. Bye.